Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have discussion on daily current affairs dated 12th of May 2023. So let us quickly discuss those topics which are important for the UPSC Prelims and Mains examination of this year. Okay, so I'm quickly going to take you through the topics that we are going to discuss during the day. So these are the listed topics that we are going to discuss in detail. So the first topic is, okay, it says the Ministry of Power and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to develop carbon credit trading scheme for decarbonization. Okay, so this particular article was there in the Press Information Bureau, and this article is an important topic that talks about carbon credit trading mechanism in India. Okay, for the first time Government of India is about to introduce the carbon credit trading scheme, and like it is going to help the Government of India in achieving decarbonization before the targeted year. Okay, so we are going to discuss about it in detail in today's discussion. This topic is important under environment and ecology. Okay, it is important under environment and ecology, and it is important for the prelims exam as well as for the mains exam under GS paper 3. Okay, under GS paper 3 in the mains exam. Apart from this, we are going to discuss another topic, and this topic says that the National Institute of Himalayan Environment, NIHE, organizes awareness program on high altitude remotely located villages of Uttarakhand on Mission Life. Okay, so through this article we will understand about what is Mission Life, what is the importance of Mission Life, and we are going to talk about the awareness program that is being organized by National Institute of Himalayan Environment, and 3 more organizations have also participated in similar exercises. So we are going to discuss about all the 4 organizations, and also the we are going to discuss in detail about Mission Life. Yes, good evening everyone. Now the next topic is, it says the problem with India's multi-alignment stand. Okay, so this particular topic is a very important topic under international relations. It is important for GS paper 2 of the mains exam, and this is a topic which is important for international relations, because like through this article we are going to understand about what do we mean by multi-alignment stand. We are going to understand about the difference between soft power and hard power, and we are going to talk about the diplomacy or the diplomatic role that Government of India is playing in the current scenario, right? And so this particular topic was there in page 8 under the editorial section of the Hindu newspaper. Apart from this, we are going to discuss another topic, which is, it says marriage for all, even if for a few. Okay, so this particular article is important because here we are going to discuss about Special Marriages Act, and we are going to discuss about various nuances associated with this. And recently the Supreme Court of India started hearings on certain matters related to, like, marriage, the institution of marriage. So we are going to discuss in detail about that article as well. So this was also there in the Hindu newspaper in today's editorial section. So we are going to discuss all these topics one by one. Just stay tuned and let us take for discussion the first topic itself. Okay, so the first topic says Ministry of Power and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so these 2 ministries are working together to create a mechanism so that carbon trading can happen in India. So we need to understand what is the importance of carbon trading. We need to understand, by doing trading in carbon, what do we want to achieve, right? And also we are going to talk about the framework that these 2 ministries are working upon. Okay, so if I talk about the involvement of 2 ministries, like one of the ministries, Ministry of Power. So this particular ministry is responsible for all these sort of energy consumption in India, energy consumption, usage of power, etc. So as of now, if we talk about the thermal power plants, most of the thermal power plants are based on coal, means like fossil fuels. They are based on fossil fuel related derivatives as input for generation of power. And also if we talk about vehicles that are plying on the road, these vehicles are also using fossil fuels, right? So these kind of fuels are generating huge amount of greenhouse gases for the environment, and the environment is getting like like the temperature of global environment is increasing day by day. If we talk about the present scenario, if we talk about the atmosphere of the earth, the atmosphere of the earth is a like it is like global common. It means like if we are polluting the environment from one place in the earth, it has repercussion for all the places on the earth, because like the atmosphere is a global common. It is available for everyone in whatever situation it is available at this point of time. So now we should be reasonable while polluting or while increasing the like emission of greenhouse gases. So power ministry's involvement is important, and if we talk about Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, this particular ministry is responsible for, let's say, multiple aspects related to environmental conservation in India. And also the government of India has signed multiple, let's say like multiple treaties, documents, for achieving net neutrality. Recently government of India has also adopted a target for itself that like we want to become a net zero carbon emitter by the year of 2070. But if you want to achieve that particular thing, we have to start taking steps from now. We have to start taking steps towards making the world a greener world. We want to move to the alternate sources of energy, right? And for that matter, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is doing multiple things. So if we see this particular image, it says energy conservation is a key to the future. Save energy, save our planet. We need to save energy, and we need to use alternate sources of energy that produces lesser greenhouse gases, that produces lesser pollution for the environment. Okay. So it says Indian carbon market to spur mobilization of investment for transition to low carbon pathways, and then Indian carbon market to help India achieving the NDC goal. NDC means nationally determined contribution. Okay, if we talk about NDC, NDC stands for nationally determined contribution. Okay, and this is goal of reducing the emission intensity of the GDP by 45% by 2013 against 2005 levels. Okay, so there are multiple targets that like government of India has taken for itself towards conservation of the environment and also towards moving to greener sources of energy, right? So this is a step in the right direction. If we talk about carbon trading mechanisms, so like as of now, government of India do not have domestic policy for carbon trading mechanism, but like if we talk about other countries like United States of America, they do have this particular let's say like legislation in their country. We also want to adopt this particular thing so that like those companies, those organizations that are producing greenhouse gases, so they will be penalized. They will be penalized means like they have to pay fine, or like they have to get carbon credit, they need to pay for it, right, to those organizations or to government, right, for getting the right to use I mean like to generate more greenhouse gases. So it is going to disincentivize those companies that are generating greenhouse gases in excess of the let's say like required quantity, in excess of what is like given authority to them. So this is the thing. I mean like with this, those companies, those organizations, those factories that are producing greenhouse gases, they will be penalized, or like they have to purchase carbon credit, and like we do have multiple levels of ensuring this particular thing. Like we have Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and we have many other organizations that are going to facilitate the trade in carbon related things. Okay, so let us quickly see some more highlights related to this news. Now, so if we talk about Indian carbon market, okay, so a national framework will be established, okay, for establishing the Indian carbon market, and the objective is to decarbonize. Okay, we want to decarbonize the Indian economy by pricing greenhouse gas emission through trading of the carbon credit certificates. Okay, so carbon credit certificates will be issued, and those companies that need to generate greenhouse gases, they need to purchase these certificates, and it is going to generate money also, and those money, that amount will be used for like creation of those kind of infrastructures that are going to be environmentally friendly. Okay, environmentally friendly. So which organizations are going to work in this regard? So we have Bureau of Energy Efficiency, right, that works under the Ministry of Power along with Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. They are developing the carbon trading scheme for this purpose. Okay, so it is in the developmental stage. Okay, so like we do not know in detail about like the, let's say, like different stages how it is going to be implemented, but like they are in the process of formulation of like policies regarding carbon credit trading scheme for India. And also they have conducted a 1-day stakeholder consultation on accredited carbon verifiers under Indian carbon market. Okay, and like they have invited key stakeholders from let's say like accredited energy auditors, carbon energy verifiers, sector experts, etc. Okay, so India is currently has an energy saving based market mechanism. The new avatar, which is carbon credit trading scheme, will enhance the energy transition efforts with an increased scope that will cover the potential energy sectors in India. Okay, so with this we want to decarbonize Indian economy, and like with this we will be able to achieve net zero carbon emission by the year of 2070. And this is going to be a new initiative, and like people will be sensitized. The companies, the organizations, the stakeholders will be sensitized, so that like they can move towards a greener source of, let's say, energy consumption. Okay, and at the same time those companies that have been earlier emitting huge amount of greenhouse gases, these companies will be penalized. Okay, these companies will have to purchase the carbon credit certificates. Okay, so in your free time what you can do is you can read this article. Okay, you can read this article. I have like highlighted all the important topics under this particular article. So in your free time you can read this article to learn more. But like once these departments or these ministries come out with detailed explanation about the carbon trading mechanism or facilities, so we will be having more information on this topic. Okay, so at this point of time they are going to they are working on certain aspects like validation, registration, verification and issuance process of carbon certificates, and also they will be working on monitoring, reporting, verification guidelines for the emission scheme. Okay, so they are doing consultation at this stage. Okay, they are doing consultation, they are in the policy framing stage. Okay, they are in the policy framing stage, and India has been at the forefront of climate action to meet the climate goals through its ambitious nationally determined contributions. Okay, India has adopted nationally determined contributions, means like we have already declared that we want to achieve these things. These are nationally determined contributions, and after giving the details to, let's say, to the outer world, we have started working on this particular thing, so that like everybody knows what steps the government of India is taking towards decarbonization of Indian economy and towards moving to greener sources of energy. Okay, energy. So that's the thing. So with this, like we will be moving to the next topic for the day. Okay, we will be moving to the next topic. Now this is the next article for the day. It says National Institute of Himalayan Environment. Okay, the National Institute of Himalayan Environment organizes awareness programs on high altitude remotely located villages of Uttarakhand on Mission Life. Okay, so this is the headline. This topic was also there in the Press Information Bureau. Okay, in short it is known as PIB. This is one of the good topics under environment and ecology section. Okay, this is a very good topic. So what you need to understand in this article, I mean like you need to understand what they are doing. Apart from this, one of the most important thing that you should learn is the Mission Life. Okay, Mission Life. So life stands for lifestyle for environment. So we are going to discuss about this thing in detail, mission life, and also let us discuss about, I mean, like why the National Institute of Himalayan Environment, it is organizing awareness program. So as you know, on 5th of June, I mean, like, you know, so we are going to have a World Environment Day, okay. So World Environment Day, I mean, like on this day, like everybody around the world are sensitized, are made aware about environmental changes, and also people take pledges to you know, do their bit towards making the, you know, making the environment a greener environment, okay. So we want to curb the usage of pollution, and this is a step in the right direction, where what has happened that the concept of life, which is lifestyle for environment, this was introduced by the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, okay. So he has introduced this concept, which is lifestyle for environment, and he has introduced this concept at the World Leaders Summit in Glasgow in 2021, UNFCCC COP26, okay. So when he gave a clarion call to rekindle the global pursuit to adopt sustainable lifestyle and practices, okay. So like the Prime Minister of India has talked to the world through the World Leaders Summit that what is the importance of adopting a lifestyle that is, let's say, like, you know, in consonance, or like that is in tune with a healthier environment, okay. So for this purpose, like there are many departments of the government. One of the department is National Museum of Natural History. Then we have Geological Survey of India. We have National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management, and we have National Institute of Himalayan Environment, okay. So these organizations are together working towards sensitization of people, towards generating awareness among the masses, awareness about usage, or like, you know, adopting a lifestyle that is beneficial for the environment, lifestyle that is in tune with the natural environment, so that like we harm the environment to the least possible manner, okay. Because at this point of time, the reckless usage of energy for unthoughtful processes is creating a huge impact on the planet Earth. And you might be knowing, there is a scientist who has proposed Anthropocene epoch, okay. This is a time period that he told that, like, you know, now the entire planet, the activities in the entire planet is being modified, is being, let's say, like, you know, is under the influence of human beings. So that's why he has introduced the term Anthropocene epoch, means like the time has come where the world is being affected, the earth is being affected by the activities of human being, okay. So activities of human being is affected. So he has introduced this particular concept, and he told that Anthropocene epoch must be included in the geological time scale, okay, in the geological time scale. You might be knowing we have a geological time scale that talks about the history of the planet Earth, right, since its inception about 4.6 billion years ago. About 4.6 billion years ago, the Earth was formed, and since then lot of activities are happening on the surface of Earth. We have seen evolution of many species, but like at the present time, right, at the present time, many species have already wiped out. Like we have seen mass extinct of species. So that scientist has proposed the introduction of you know, Anthropocene epoch in the geological time scale, okay. So let us understand about what do we mean by lifestyle for environment, okay. Why? Because it is an important concept, okay, it is an important concept, and this is a progressive idea that was proposed by the Prime Minister of India, okay. It is a progressive idea. So let us understand in detail what do we mean by lifestyle for environment. What is life? Okay, life is a short form of this particular sentence which says lifestyle for environment. It simply means we need to adopt a lifestyle that is healthier for the environment also, so that like we affect the environment in the negligent manner, okay, so that like, you know, because of us the environment does not get affected, okay. So what is mission life? So mission life, I mean, like on the occasion of UN climate change conference UNFCCC COP26, the Honorable Prime Minister of India has introduced this particular, objective, which is lifestyle for environment, to engage individuals in mitigating the adverse effects of climate change. Okay. So this initiative encourages, this initiative means the lifestyle for environment. It encourages a lifestyle that focuses on mindful and deliberate utilization of resources and aims to change the present use and dispose of consumption habits. Okay. At this point of time, we have a habit like, we want to use things and we want to dispose it. We do not care about like whether it is biodegradable or not, whether it is environmental friendly habit or not, right? We are not we are not thinking about like how it is going to affect, okay? We are not thinking about how it is going to affect the world at large. But the Prime Minister of India has proposed the idea that like, we should adopt a lifestyle that is healthy for the environment also. It says lifestyle for environment, okay? So our lifestyle on day-to-day basis, we need to think about, modifying our habit in such a manner so that like anything that we do, it has least impact on the climate, okay? We should be doing something that is beneficial for the climate also, okay? For the environment, okay? So it says the idea behind is to encourage individuals to adopt simple changes in their daily life that can contribute to the climate change. And another part of the life mission, there are two parts. One part is like it talks about that individuals should make some changes in their daily habit, right? So that like, we can have a greener planet, we can have a, better environment, okay? And another part is to use the strength of social networks to bring a change in the climate landscape. The mission also plans to create a global army of environmental enthusiasts who shall be known as pro-planet people. I mean like, this particular mission also talks about that like, those people who are going to, create networks with other people to make them aware about, let's say, changing their habits towards a greener planet, towards a lifestyle for environment. These people, these enthusiasts will be known as pro-planet people, okay? These people will be known as pro-planet people, and they will be committed to adopting and promoting environment-friendly lifestyles. These people will be promoted, okay, for adopting environment-friendly lifestyles, okay? So this is about lifestyle for environment. Apart from this, there are other things also in this. As part of this mission, we are going to discuss about that as well. Okay, we are going to discuss about that. So this lifestyle for environment is a very, very good initiative. Okay, it is a very good initiative, and it talks about behavioral changes among individuals. It talks about that like how individuals can act towards achieving a better world for ourselves. And also like, this better world will be passed on to our next generation, right? So now we are going to talk about some other relevant concepts that are associated with lifestyle for environment. So following are the areas that are grouped under the 3 pillars of life, okay? So there are 3 pillars of lifestyle for environment. One of the pillar is focus on individual behavior that I have already discussed in detail. Second pillar, okay, this is number 2, third pillar, number 3, co-create globally. Third pillar, leverage local cultures, okay. So these are the 3 pillars for achieving lifestyle for environment. One of the pillar is like, focus on individual behavior. I mean like, individuals like me, you, and like, your relatives, your friends, your colleagues, right? They should be made aware about harmful effects of single-use plastic. We should have knowledge about sustainable modes of transportation, right? So we use transportation modes every day. So what are those sustainable modes of transportation? Like, bicycles, e-bikes, e-cars, okay? And apart from this, consciousness about wastage of water. Many of us, waste water recklessly, like we open the tap and let the water, drain. But the thing is like we should be mindful about wastage of water. Knowledge about environment related labels For example, organic, plastic free, no harm, Energy Star labels, etc. So many products we use on a day-to-day life. For example, the AC we use. So AC has a kind of a star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. The more number of stars are there on the AC, it means like it is going to consume lesser energy. Okay, so that's the thing. And like there are food packages where they have mentioned about organic, plastic free, no harm, like that. Okay, so we should be aware about these things as well. And also consumption habits, making them greener, assessing personal carbon footprints. Okay, we talk about carbon footprint of a particular country, but like we also have personal carbon footprints. We should be knowing how much carbon we are emitting because of our consumption habits, right? So this is the first pillar. It talks about focusing on changing or molding the individual behavior, making the individual aware about his impact towards towards making a greener planet. And also like if he is not considerate about these things, he is going to contribute to a to a planet which is going to be more warmer in the coming years. Then second pillar talks about co-create globally. Okay, co-create globally. What do we mean by this? It says scalable ideas for change on a global level. For example, knowledge about adverse impact of carbon polluting industries, awareness about planet friendly investment, implementing a smart energy consumption, etc. So like it talks about that like those companies that are in the process of manufacturing certain things, so they should have knowledge about adverse impact of their creation for the world. Only then they will be moving towards creating those machineries, those equipments that will be environmentally friendly. Okay, so this is co-create globally. Okay, so industries and also people who are investing in different companies, okay, those investments should be towards greener sources of energy, towards like a healthier planet. Okay, the third thing it says leverage local cultures. Okay, we need to utilize the local cultures for this purpose. Okay, it says awareness about community gardens, knowledge about creating products from waste, literacy about cloth recycling, importance of urban farming, reducing food wastage, community strengthening activities, environment lessons to be taught at educational institutions, and youth involvement. So like what we are going to do, we are leveraging the local cultures, means at locally, like wherever we are situated, we should make other people aware about the importance of like using things in a certain manner so that like it is environmentally friendly. Okay, so this is all about lifestyle for environment. In your free time you should read this particular article. You can download it from the description of the YouTube video, like it is going live on YouTube. So like after the lecture you can simply download this thing and read about it. Okay, you can download and read, so that will help you to understand more on this topic. Now with this we came to the next article. This is article number 3, and in this article we are going to discuss about Indian foreign policy issues. Okay, we are going to talk about this topic with the perspective of international relations, and this is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam. Okay, GS paper 2 of the mains exam. So let us discuss about this particular editorial. So this was there in editorial page of the Hindu newspaper today. This article highlights about the problem with India's multi-alignment stand. Okay, multi-alignment stand means like India as a country, it is not aligned towards one power and not against other power. So we do have a national priority. Okay, we do have a national interest, because like we want to maintain stability internally and externally as well, and we want to maintain some kind of relationship with different countries having different ideologies, different thought process, right? For example, like we are maintaining certain kind of relation with China, we are maintaining certain kind of relation with Russia. At the same time we are maintaining certain kind of relation with United States of America. So if we talk about United States of America on one hand and Russia on the other hand, so these are two countries that are totally opposite to one another in many aspects. For example, the United States of America has a democratic country, so like they promote democratic values. If we talk about Russia, okay, although elections happen in Russia, so but the thing is the democracy in Russia, okay, is not like the kind of democracy that will be there, let's say, in United States of America. And if you talk about China and United States of America have opposite thought process in many fronts, okay. For example, China is a communist country, okay, it is a communist country, so communism, the idea of socialism, I mean, like, is there in China. If you talk about United States of America, they have a market economy, okay, they have a, let's say, like, democratic values, they have democratic country, okay. So these two countries, like, on one hand China, on the other hand USA, or let's say Russia and USA, so these countries have different ideas towards the worldview, they have a different worldview. And at the same time, if we talk about India, is India totally aligned towards USA? No. Is India totally aligned towards China? No. Is India totally aligned towards, let's say, Russia? No. But India maintains certain kind of relationship. And if we talk about the present scenario, presently the Russia has waged a war, okay. We can call it to be an aggression from Russian side towards Ukraine, okay. Russia is the largest country in the world. It is the largest country in the world in terms of geographical area, and also it is one of the most powerful countries in the world, okay. Like United States of America, Russia is also a very powerful country. It is a nuclear weapon state. They have nuclear capacity. They can, let's say, launch nuclear weapons against any state in the world in no time, okay, within no time, like, it can destruct any other country. But the thing is, like, this country is also mindful about its behavior towards other countries. If we talk about the present status, the Ukraine, okay, on Ukraine, Russia has, let's say, like, launched attack. So that attack has been happening for over a year now. It's been many days, I mean, like, that the attack is going on, okay. And Ukraine is defending itself against Russia on many fronts. It has taken help from Western countries, okay. It has taken help from Western countries in whatever possible manner it could take. For example, it has imported weapons from many countries, and many countries have ideologically supported this stand of Ukraine against Russia, right. But many countries are also pressurizing India to take side either on United States side or towards Russia, okay. But the thing is, like, India is taking a calculated step in such a manner so that, like, none of these countries, like, neither United States of America nor Russia, they should not feel that India is totally against them or totally towards them, because, like, we do have our own national priority and we have been maintaining this particular thing. For some time, the government of India has maintained a status of neutrality. Neutrality in the sense, like, it did not answer correctly, I mean, like, it did not answer outrightly to which side it aligns. The government of India has maintained its position that, like, we do have relations with these countries, and, like, relations in terms of, let's say, trading activities, and, like, we are importing many defense related equipments from Russia as well as from United States of America. At this point of time, India has maintained this particular thing, but this thing has been taken as an opportunity by China, and China has taken side of Russia, and it has, like, supported Russia in its war against Ukraine. And so Russia started considering China to be more its friend than India, okay. Now it raises some kind of dilemma towards India, like, what should India do? Because, like, China is an immediate neighborhood to India, and at the same time China has much more resources as compared to India. China is more resourceful country in terms of the let's say, like, resources, physical or other kind of resources. India is not that as big economy as, like, China, but at the same time, like, we do not want to annoy Russia, okay. So in this article, the author is talking about the problem with India's multi-alignment stand. So the kind of stand that we are maintaining in our foreign policy towards Russia or towards, let's say, United States of America or towards China, right. So we have a multi-alignment strategy, but this multi-alignment strategy has also posed some kind of problems to India, because at this point of time China is getting benefited in terms of getting support from Russia. It is actually supporting Russia, but like it has given many statements against United States of America. India does not want to do that, okay. So the author is highlighting about the problem with India's multi-alignment stand, okay. So in your free time you can read about this article, you will understand whatever I am saying at this point of time. So we do have two types of powers. One type of power is known as soft power, means like influencing someone without pressurizing them. Another is known as hard power, using force, using economic power, right? So these are usage of hard power. If you are using your weapons, if you are using your force, that is hard power. If you are using money, right, that is hard power. But if you talk about soft power, it is influencing someone without actually like involving use of force or pressure against them, right? So it says, while it may have given India, New Delhi some diplomatic space as far as the war in Ukraine and the global stand are concerned, it may not be sufficient for India to try to play the role of a mediator between Russia and Ukraine. As of now, China is not playing as a mediator, but like China is supporting the Russia, but many countries have proposed India to be a mediator between Russia and Ukraine. But at this point of time, India has not mediated between them, because there are multiple concerns that the foreign ministry may have to look into, right? And only then they'll be taking certain steps in this regard. So in your free time you can read about this article, you will understand about what do we mean by India's multi-alignment stand. I hope I have made it clear during the discussion. This was an editorial topic in today's newspaper. Then this is another newspaper, okay. This is another newspaper clipping, like an article. It says, marriage for all even if for a few, okay. So this article was there in the editorial section. You don't have to try to read from whatever there here. I understand that the fonts are small because I have directly taken the clipping from the newspaper, but I am going to discuss in detail what do we mean by this, okay. So it says marriage for all even if for a few. The thing is, now the Supreme Court of India is hearing the petitioner's case where they are asking the right of marriage for the same sex people. I mean queer, okay, LGBT community, let's say queer, they want to marry, okay. So should they be given status to marry? Because if we talk about India or many other countries in the world, they do have a law where biologically opposite genders are allowed to marry. For example, in India, one male, one female, they marry, they made a happy family. But now the new ideas are coming up in the society. Which ideas? That queer, I mean same sex people want to marry with one another. So if the same sex people are allowed to marry with one another, it is going to create lot of difficulties for the society, for the existing social structure that we have, because the institution of marriage is supposed to, let's say they should be biologically active to produce offsprings, I mean to produce a child. But in case of queer, in case of let's say LGBT community, if they want to marry same sex people, so how they are going to have a biological child? So that's a problem. And apart from this, if it is given, so many people are going to do that, so it is going to let's say create some kind of tensions in the fabric of the society. And at this point of time, maybe the Indian society is not ready to accept this kind of situation. The courts are in a state of dilemma. They are hearing, let's say, petitioners and also the respondents arguments towards this particular thing. The court has not yet made its stand, but at the same time through this article the author talks about some people who have been questioned, who have been asked by the journalist about their stand in this particular issue. So here she talks about fabulous lives of Bollywood wives. So it's a kind of, let's say, Netflix series. It is a reality show, And apart from this, Indian matchmaking, I mean like it's a series in this Netflix, it is there, right? Indian matchmaking. So like, you know, there was a woman like who let's say acts as a mediator, like she brings people together so that they can discuss and they can decide about, you know, marrying with one another. So this lady, her name was Seema Taparia. She was asked about her stand. Let's say like she was asked that you are a person who is mediating between two persons, mediating in the sense who is enabling two persons to come together to discuss about their life plans and also to decide whether they want to marry one another or not. Okay, she is a kind of relationship manager. Okay, she was asked these questions. So at this point of time, what she answered, she said, I mean like, you know, she is like the Indian society is itself not decided about it, how to go about this particular issue. Even the thing is in the courts, right? How she can decide about it? Okay, she said this. Even if the courts give a go ahead to this kind of legislation, means like if courts accept that, like, you know, two same sex marriage people can marry one another, this can be a legal sanctity. But the question is whether the society is going to accept it or not, whether, like, you know, they are going to get the acceptability from the society. Okay, there are many things that are legally permitted, but at this societal level, people still have some kind of notion, right? They have some kind of prejudice in their mind, so they do not want to open up beyond their, you know, mental boundaries. So she also answered diplomatically that, like, even if the courts allow, whether she wants to mediate between two same-sex people to marry one another, that is a question, like, you know, that she was not able to answer. She did not answer it clearly. So this is something which is like an ongoing issue, right? And there are many countries, and those countries, they have a civil union law. Okay, civil union law. What do we mean by civil union law? Civil union simply means that two same-sex people can marry one another, and after marriage they will be getting certain rights, those rights that are, let's say, available to married couples. For example, married couples can adopt a child. So same-sex married people, I mean like, they are known as civil union law. Okay, civil union. So they can also adopt a child after, let's say, like, you know, marrying with one another. So that's one kind of right that they get. Apart from this, there are other sort of right. For example, right of inheritance. Okay, right, there are multiple rights that are given to, let's say, married couples under the laws that are existing in India. So this article is pondering about, you know, this issue, whether same sex couple can be allowed to marry or not. Okay, this is just a let's say, like, you know, write up from the author side. She also talks about a Special Marriage Act. So if we talk about a Special Marriage Act, so it's a broad-based law that allows marriage between people of different religion also, that allows marriage between people of different nationality as well. For example, if there in India, okay, let's say like there is a person, a male person from one particular religious belief, let's say like a Christian person, if he wants to marry a person of some other religion, maybe a Muslim, maybe a Hindu, or any other religion, so this marriage is legally allowed under a Special Marriage Act. And also, let's say like there is an Indian national, it can be a lady, it can be a gentleman, I mean like it can be a female, it can be a male. If that person wants to marry, let's say like if it is a male, if he wants to marry a female, if you want to marry a female from some other country, right? So that Special Marriage Act gives a route to them, that they can get their marriage registered in a court of law, and they will that marriage will be legally tenable, that marriage will be legally recognized. Okay, but whether the special provisions of the Special Marriage Act can be applied for same sex marriage or not. So this is being, let's say like, looked after by the Supreme Court of India, and also Government of India is one of the respondent. And those people, let's say like who are petitioners in this case, they are also like, they come with, let's say, lot of arguments towards it. So if you read this article, you will understand this particular concept, this notion in detail about what is civil union, what is like, known as civil union law. This civil union law is in practice is there in many other countries, but in India at this point of time we do not have a civil union law. We only give acceptance to marriage between, let's say, like, people of two biological identities, a male and a female. Okay, so this is still being looked after by the courts in India. You need to read this article, you need to read many other articles that are going to come in the upcoming days to understand more on this topic. Okay, so with this, like, I would I would like to rest my discussion for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.